Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash, trending news and entertainment.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash, today's trends, tomorrow's talk. So glad to have you here. We got us a good show lined up today.
Really big show.
We love it. Chef Rich is going to be in our kitchen, and we're actually going to be talking about it and you say the words easy to make, you got me. And he's going to make us a frittata coming up a little bit later on.
He makes incredible food. I can't wait for this one. Also, Screen Chatter, Tony Toscano is going to join us. And we're going to have all of today's trends, tomorrow's talk. But first, we're going to check in with James Alexander. He's our social media king. James, good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning. So I got a great question of the day for you. If you could pause time for 1 hour, what would you do?
Oh, man.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, I would have to take that 1 hour and break it up into 3 20-minute blocks and try to be as productive as possible. I need an extra hour in a day because of all the stuff I have to do with my kids. So, if you agree with me, I want you to go to our social media channels, leave your comments at Daily Flash Show, and go to our website at dailyflashshow.com. I will be there writing you back, and you may be featured on the show. What do you think, guys?
Okay, so we actually do get an extra hour every year, but I sleep during it. But what I would do, I think I would spend that time to plan. I feel like my day is so much better if I can plan to do stuff. So I would take that extra hour and do that.
I would clean and organize.
Clean?
Yeah. I've got those lists on my chores on my to-do list, and it's like, I'll get to that later. So I think that extra hour would get me going and motivated to get that stuff organized and put away.
We get so busy around here, and we think, how I just need more time. Better than that, I'd like to have an assistant. That would be like they would do literal stuff. I know you say you have an assistant on your phone, but I'm talking about like somebody to go get my dry cleaning and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Is there a chore that you hate to do? Like grocery shopping or getting gas?
I do hate getting gas. One thing I used to hate, I'll talk about that, is washing dishes. And then once I was, my kids lived with me after the divorce. I had custody of them, and they would never do the dishes. And so I changed my attitude about it. It was like, you know what? If it's going to get done, I'll do it. And that way I know, and I'll do it the way I want. And before I go to bed every night, I have to do dishes. And so I just kind of changed my attitude about it.
Yeah.
I hated doing dishes up to that point.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, it's the dishwasher that does the dishes anyway.
True.
You just put them in there.
Laundry. I hate doing laundry.
Really? I will.
And I do so much laundry.
Come over to your house. If you have no problem with the way I fold, I love doing laundry. Because I love that folding thing. I hate putting it away though. It's so weird.
It's the worst. I hate all of it.
Why is it? I have no problems folding. Putting away.
And I can never get the fitted sheet right, ever.
Oh, it's really, but you do. You get the rounded sides, you push it together, and just kind of put it in.
That's what I do, yes.
That's how it's done. I can't see how any other way.
And you just sort of squish it together to make it line up with the sheet.
Yeah, you hide it in a drawer that no one's ever going to open. You're fine.
Have you ever gone to the same store, 2 different neighborhoods, and thought the prices were not the same for the same products?
Yeah, and only by a few, not like a major, but like enough for me to notice, sure.
Yeah, okay, so if this has happened to you, you are experiencing something that the consumer experts call dynamic pricing. Okay, Instacart uses an AI algorithm that charges different prices to different customers for the same grocery item from the same stores. Now, this is according to a new study released by Consumer Reports. Now, get this, at one Target store in Ohio, an Instacart customer was charged $2.99 for a jar of peanut butter. Others were charged $3.59. Same jar, same location.
That's a big difference if you think about it price-wise.
Yeah, huge. Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh, Kroger, they've already rolled out what they call electronic price tags that allow workers to raise shelf prices in a matter of minutes. Walmart has said it's planning to add the tags to thousands of stores by 2026.
If you go to Kohl's, I know Kohl's has the electronic price tag thing. And now that you say that, I always wondered why they always do that, but they could just, I imagine, just send it out.
Because, with Kohl's, they oftentimes they'll have those sales, so I think they change those price prices all the time. So this is part of the dynamic pricing program. It's used by ride shares, convenience stores, airlines, hotels, museums, zoos, and of course your local grocery stores. New Yorkers accuse Uber and Lyft of jacking up prices when certain subway lines are shut down.
Which I can, to their defense, it's the demand.
Yeah.
So if there's a higher demand, they want you to pay more, which I don't agree with, right? Because it's, the cars are going to be there, just more people are doing it. So you are taking advantage of the fact that people are in need.
Yeah.
There's an airport. Traffic.
Yeah, and I think with Uber and Lyft, you're noticing that because if there's a higher volume of time, like the weekends, Friday or Saturday night, or if there's a big ball game going on, or some sort of big event that requires a lot of Uber and Lyfts, they have the opportunity to jack up those prices. And then we see the same kind of thing here in Florida with the toll roads and the express lanes. The prices will change depending on the hour of the day.
Right, yeah.
So there's that. More than 70 attractions, including children's museums, aquariums. They use a software provider called Dijonex, and it powers dynamic pricing based on everything from weather to capacity and even Google search patterns. I mean, we're getting into this, what they call surveillance pricing, which is based on individual consumer data and data that has been ingested for the past 2 decades, thanks to our nonstop social media use.
Yeah.
And this is really what is fueling a lot of this. And variable pricing is nothing new, but artificial intelligence, AI, has made it easier for companies to leverage the dynamic pricing.
And I think if you need to speak out about this to your local, wherever you go doing your shopping, and because this is not going to go away.
Yeah.
If they're seeing this as like, this is a great way for us to make some extra cash, really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and experts say, although it's nothing new, the problem is more around transparency than trust. So if you're being transparent about using AI and changing your prices, I think people are more forgiving. But if you're hiding it and pretending it's not happening, that's a problem.
I agree.
Businesses have always adjusted prices to find the highest amount a customer will pay, so that's nothing new. However, now artificial intelligence, along with advanced algorithms and massive troves of user data, are allowing companies to pinpoint higher price points.
Of course, the Instacart in the news as of late because of this, but it kind of shows you this is not an Instacart only situation. Everyone's doing it.
No, and it stretches across all forms of commerce. Just last month, the Justice Department settled its case against a real estate tech firm, RealPage. They accused them of using sensitive information to jack up rents for tenants.
And I feel that stinks because, you move in and obviously your credit is one thing, but then if they know you make a lot of money, they might wind up charging you more. And I just don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
I can't see how anybody can, but they're get away.
And I suppose some people can argue everything's negotiable, right?
That's true too.
So Wendy's faced backlash last year. I don't know if you remember this, over its plans to invest $20 million in a digital menu board that could change the price of a burger in real time, depending on the Wendy's location.
So we are in this world where we used to walk around with cash. So you had $5 and you go to Wendy's. I'm just choosing Wendy's because you just mentioned it. And you go, all right, well, I'm going to have a hamburger. I know it's $4.98, whatever. Well, you might go up there and it might be $5 or $6, basically what you're saying. It's actually, the concept's been around for a while. They have taken it from drug dealers. Right? Am I right or wrong on this? When it comes to demand, they're going to charge you more.
Of course.
And I think that's, to me, I understand and appreciate them go, well, it's transparency, which I get, but it's so this is basically, we're going to go ahead and screw you based on how much money, what motivation will I have if they know how much money I make or where I live to actually go to a place like that? How about somebody that looks at everybody all the same?
Yeah.
Only way I could see this, I can't see how the consumer is helping from this at all. No. This is all about making more money. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, I think so. But to add to that conversation, you've got this whole new dynamic with artificial intelligence that can basically take 20 years of info you've posted on your social media pages and can determine how much you might be willing to pay for a certain product. And we sort of take all of that stuff for granted. We don't think how deep the tentacles go when it comes to AI, when it comes to our social media use. Yeah. But they'll know, hey, Mitch loves hamburgers. So the next time he goes out for a hamburger, and this company might know it, you may roll up to a menu board, not knowing it, but AI might be able to sense, based on your social media, they're going to charge you $10 for that burger.
And that's what you're referring to as far as transparency goes, to knowing that, so that makes a whole lot of sense. I don't think it's right, but I think a whole lot of sense.
I'm exaggerating with that particular scenario, but I think that's kind of how far it could go.
And don't be surprised. We get used to it, then it becomes the norm. And I think that's why I go on and say you should just go, complain about this to somebody and just say, you know what, I don't like how you're doing this because you're not treating me as same as somebody else.
Well, we get comfortable with convenience,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And as a result, we're kind of subject to dynamic pricing.
All right, we here at Daily Flash will not raise our prices.
No.
We're here for you. What you're paying right now
We're
is what you'll
BOGO.
get. Right, but we are BOGO.
BOGO.
You buy Jackson, you get me for free, all right? But, and you do have to answer a question. Here it is. What's the largest internal organ in the human body? That's our Daily Flash Brain Flash question. We'll have the answer right after this.
Down in the studio, the bright lights all gleamed, despite the entire control room sharing the same holiday dream. The wires were tangled, half the scripts were torn, and that shirt Mitch chose, yeah, it should never be worn. Andrea was wrapping, unwrapping, then wrapping once more, muttering,
If I lose this tape again, I am walking out that door.
through the holiday mayhem and rituals and routines, the Flash crew kept rolling like festive machines.
So if your holiday chaos gets crazy like level 143,
Just tune us right in. We're on your TV.
May your chaos stay merry. From your friends at Daily Flash.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. We are in the kitchen, but before we jump in there, we got to have our answer to our question. What is the largest internal organ in the human body? You want to take a guess at it?
Answer, kidney.
The kidney, it's the liver.
Liver.
Which we're probably a lot of y'all are going to destroy, all right?
During the holidays.
Exactly. All right, welcome back to the big show. If you have friends or family staying with you over the holidays, we got a breakfast that actually you're going to want to make them, and you can actually get them in the kitchen to help out.
Yeah, and here with us is Chef Rich.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Daily Flash.
Love it.
Good
Thank you
to
for having
see
me. Thank you.
We should mention Rich is the host of One Plate Kitchen, National Healthy Cooking Show on the TCT Network, and the founder of a culinary health and wellness program, One Plate, One Health. So, Rich, tell us what we are making here today.
Today we are going to make the most amazing breakfast you've ever had.
Okay.
All right,
And
I'm in.
one of the things I love about this breakfast is, especially after the holidays, it's like you're cleaning out your fridge kind of breakfast, which
Okay.
is a great thing. So the first thing we're going to start with is some extra ham that we have just laying around.
All right.
So we're going to get that in there.
And now your ham can be cut up anyway. You diced it there. So.
Ham, turkey,
Turkey, and
it
you
can
gotta
be-
meat.
It can
Okay,
be whatever.
your
It can be
protein.
fish if you want.
Okay.
Whatever's in that like the refrigerator, get it in
Okay.
here. We're saving nothing.
Good idea.
All right, so we're going to get that in. The next thing we're going to do is kale. Now, we're using kale only because it's seasonal. We try to keep it as seasonal as possible.
Because
All right?
otherwise, kale is just on the salad bar, wrapped around all the other foods.
Or it's a
Which
little
everyone-
garnish.
Yeah, everyone ignores.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that you'll see, once you start using it and using it in different ways, you'll kind of gravitate, I'm going to get some kale today.
Does the consistency when you're done, I've never really cooked kale, it come out like spinach after you cook it? Is it that feel?
It's a great thing because it comes out like spinach, just a little hardier.
Okay.
You know how spinach gets wilted and
Yes.
it's like,
Soggy.
mushy? Yeah, it doesn't.
Texture's such a big deal, so I imagine I'd probably like kale over spinach anyway.
It's huge. And one of the biggest tips I want to give you, when you're using kale, make sure you slice it very, very thin.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, one of
Yes.
the things that people don't like is big chunks of kale. When you slice it thin, it gives you a really nice texture.
Okay. All right, so
we
that's
get-
very important.
Yep, we got this mixed in. We're just going to kind of heat this up a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, it smells fantastic.
Next thing, onions.
All right, as you add those in here, we're gonna jump in here. What you need actually for this, you'll need an onion, a cup of mushrooms, 2 cups, so we can pop that up on the screen, some chopped kale, red bell pepper, you'll need some sausage of any kind, as mentioned, about 8 ounces. You'll need a lot of eggs, and we'll explain why in a second. And then Swiss cheese, thyme, sage, salt, and
Some
pepper.
milk.
Milk you'll need in there as well. I think I missed out
Yeah,
on that
that's
one.
okay.
All right. So easy stuff, like you said, things that you can, and it doesn't necessarily have to stay to just this. It's what you got in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It is whatever you have in the kitchen. And that's a great thing about it. You make it your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I want you to
That's the
do
key
this.
it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Make it your own. Whatever you have in the kitchen, use it.
And I like that you add color, you know, the greens and
You're
the
right.
yellows and the reds. I mean, that's important when we're thinking about healthier eating, is making sure we get all the colors of the rainbow in
Indeed.
there.
We definitely want to make sure we cook and we eat the rainbow.
Yeah.
The more color you have in there, the more nutritional value, the more texture, the more flavor it's going to give you.
Well, as you're doing that, you know, you talk about the, the flavor and that sort of thing, but you, as mentioned earlier, you do a lot of healthy cooking. What got you into doing that?
You know, one of the things that I really love is how food can help. You know, food is one of the things everybody eats. It's extremely memorable. You know, and everybody has smelled something and like, oh, I remember when I was a kid, I had this and I had that. So it really brings back good times. So one of the things we want to do is use food in a way that it's medicine. You know, there's more antioxidants, there's more vitamins, there's more minerals in here than there is in some of the pills and vitamins and nonsense you take.
And I'm looking right now. I've not seen anything artificial go in there yet. So that's a plus. That's a big plus.
And because we're using things in season, cost-wise, it's much cheaper.
That's
it's
a great
cheaper,
point.
more flavor, and more nutrition in each one.
All right, guys. Now, if you had extra bell peppers, I tell you to put more in there, but that looks good.
Oh yeah, no, we got to get some extra bell peppers in there.
Now, the process of what you're doing here, you don't want to cook it per se. You want to get it nice and warm. Is it the cooking actually coming once you get the eggs in, or what?
We're gonna get it going here. Yeah, if I cook it all the way over here, what'll happen is once I throw it in the oven, it's gonna overcook and
Makes sense. Makes sense.
You know, we want those mushrooms to have texture. We want that meat to have texture. We want all these things to have texture and flavor and juiciness. So we don't want to overcook it here. We just want to kind of blend everything together.
Okay.
So now what we got to do is got to crack this egg. So I'll give you.
I'm never good at this. All right.
For you.
Can you do one on? Look at there.
There you go.
Look
good
at
job.
that, like
good
a pro.
job.
One-
That is the
One-handed,
first
too.
time I've done that,
Serious,
but I don't tell you
bro.
how
All
long.
right.
And if you get a little shell in there, okay,
It's
that's
okay,
fine.
yeah.
It's extra protein, right?
Yeah. So we'll just whip this up because you want to just whip that up there. And then
again,
while that's going,
this is thyme, right?
this is fresh thyme.
Thyme,
If
yeah.
you did it fresh, you want to use dry thyme, go for it. That's fine.
And the easiest way is it upside down? And
Yep.
then-
So there's a couple different ways. Now, what you're doing when you look for thyme is you want to. It's pretty soft. So when it's soft, you just grab it by one side and
You just pull
kinda
right down
pull
like that. My wife
the leaves
taught me
right
that.
off. The ones that are really tender, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Things will break down. What we want to get rid of is some of the bigger, like woodsier ones.
Okay.
Now
So-
the great thing about this also, use a scissor.
Oh, well, that's the easiest way. I can do that.
Don't go
Okay,
crazy.
so how long would this take to make from start to finish? About
Start to finish, maybe 12 minutes.
12 minutes. All right, we got about a minute left here. So
yeah.
once we have all that together, we need to add
So we
the
get all
eggs,
that,
right?
we're going to pour our eggs in there.
Okay, I'm pouring. Voila.
Now, we're going to make it seasonal so we can get some cheese in there.
Throw some of that cheese.
Throw some cheese
this
in there.
stuff again.
Here's something that's a little cranberries.
Cranberries. Oh,
Why?
great idea.
Because it's the holidays.
And you have them
And
in the
then
kitchen.
we're just going to mix this up, mix it in really well. In the oven it goes, 350 degrees for about 12 minutes.
Keep your eye on it. When you know
And
it's
then
done, is
I'm
what?
gonna put
It's
this-
It won't
Can
jiggle,
jiggle.
it'll be a little
Okay.
firm. So about 12 minutes is all it takes. And then we have something as beautiful as this. Now we'll
Okay.
just cut it.
Okay.
And this is great. Now, we're going to have this recipe and, of course, this video on our website, dailyflashshow.com. You can go there and check this out. And again, it's, Rich, you make great stuff, but this is pretty simple.
Super simple.
Very easy. We're going to try this, and you can try this home as well for the full frittata recipe.
This looks
Head to
amazing.
One Plate. That's PL8.com. Rich, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you again for having me. I really appreciate it.
Hey, welcome back to the Big Show Daily Flash. Mitch English here. Thursday, yes it is. That means it's time for us to check in with Tony Toscano to find out what's coming out of Hollywood and straight to your screen, no matter what size you're going to watch it on. With the latest, here's Tony.
Thanks, Mitch. Streaming on Prime Video is the romantic comedy Under the Stars.
Have you not even noticed how disconnected we've become?
Did you reject his proposal?
What proposal?
As far as I can tell, he's fled the country thanks to you.
You must be the new guest, Giacomo Giglione.
Ariana is your daughter. We bumped into each other yesterday.
What brings you here?
Hi.
I'm writing a book.
The film follows a novelist stuck in a passionless relationship. When he travels to Italy, he finds the girl of his dreams. I chatted with director Michelle Danner.
As opposed to just telling a young love story, let's just juxtapose it with an old, not old, I didn't mean to say that, but a love story for mature, for more mature people.
Under the Stars is simply a feel-good rom-com with a few good laughs. Again, it's streaming on Prime and gets a B. It's not rated. Also streaming on Prime, John Heder stars in the comedy Tapawingo.
Maybe we should look into some mercenary work. Storming haciendas. What? High-powered explosives.
Hit the deck!
Protecting the weak and stupid.
When an oddball becomes the bodyguard for a misfit teenager, he finds himself in the crosshairs of the town's family of bullies. I chatted with John Heder.
Comedies are hard to come by nowadays, and I think this is definitely a comedy, but it falls within the realm of okay, this isn't just, people getting up there and improving and goofing around. This is, a very colorful cast of characters, a lot of fun to step into this world and get to know all the different characters. I think that's one of the strongest things about this film is, a chance for audiences to kind of sit down, kind of zone out, but have a lot of fun with the visuals, the music, the jokes, the pratfalls, the slapstick. So there's a lot jam-packed in there.
Tapawingo is a forced comedy. The film just has no direction and gets lost in trying to make the audience laugh. Pass this one by. Again, it's streaming on Prime and gets a D. It's not rated. For the Daily Flash, I'm film critic Tony Toscano.
Hey there, thank you, Tony. Well, welcome to your Daily Digits. Well, the holidays are here. You've heard that phrase a million times by now, and that means a lot of you will be traveling to see your loved ones. Well, at least the ones you can tolerate for a couple hours. According to a new study, more than 122 million of you will be away from home this year. Whether it's by planes, trains, or automobiles, a record-breaking 122 million Americans will travel this holiday season. That is up 2.2% over last year. Just remember, always pack more underwear than you think you will need, and make sure your family is okay with you bringing your pet that's going to eat all the food that you drop on the floor. Please, don't show up with a dog that no one's like, oh, wait, hey, you got a dog? That's great. We don't have anywhere for it. Ask them first. Now, if you're ready to jingle all the way to Christmas, it looks like you'll be spending about $890 in total this year. Americans are expected to spend nearly $890 on holiday shopping this season, about the same as last year. Most of that will go towards gift cards, clothing, and electronics. Can't we just go back to the days of giving our parents pine cones with tinsel on them and call it a day? They were just as happy with that, and they kept it around longer than that foot massager you got them. And that's the only time of year you buy those stupid things anyway. Just remember that. Buy experiences, not things. And your last number today is 55%. That's the amount of Americans who admit they drink more than usual during the holidays. Welcome to the club. It seems like many of us are trading places with our normal drinking habits during the holidays. A new survey finds that 55% of Americans drink more than usual, with younger adults driving the increase with having to tolerate their friends and family. 1 in 5 admit the drinking and is going up over the season. More than half say they regret their holiday drinking. I figure with all the travel and the spending, yeah, that's right. That's right. Just remember, celebrate responsibly, get an Uber, get a cab, walk home, just be safe out there and tolerate Uncle Jimmy bringing up politics, the church, all the things. All that. Don't look at your bank account till February.
That's probably very sage advice indeed, especially if you want 2026 to kick off and be on the right move.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
All together. Good advice there altogether. I think not overindulging might be probably the biggest for most that we need.
I will say Trading Places is one of my favorite movies.
Isn't it?
I love that movie.
We forget it's a Christmas movie
it
too.
It is a Christmas movie, yes.
Oh, right, yeah, I love what he's on that skateboard at the very beginning. I always think about that.
I like it when he's in jail and he's showing the guys he knows kung fu, and he's like, these hands are killers. These are weapons. Oh God, he's brilliant. I love it.
We have more Flash coming up. Stick around. We love having you.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash, trending news and entertainment.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Welcome to the show.
We love having you here. Anything that we talk about on the show, you get in touch with us by going to flash@dailyflashshow.com, or just go to our website and hit the sound off button. That way we can communicate. We know what you're thinking. And again, you're the most important part of the show, so we love having you along. This time of year, I think people get retrospective, thinking about the past year and kind of thinking about life. And, with the recent passing of Rob Reiner and his wife, you're starting to see a lot of tributes coming out as well, and obituaries too. So researchers have kind of gone back and they went through 38 million U.S. obituaries. Now, I'm not sure if they went by one or had an AI to do it.
Probably AI.
I would imagine so. And they were looking for what Americans actually value in their life and what a life well lived actually is. And as they went through it all, they realized that people are actually most remembered not by the successes of things that they've done, but the kindness that others had felt through them. And so they went through them all, and they saw a shift right around big tragedies, something like, say 9/11, the COVID, that what people were putting in the obituaries and stuff kind of changed. They dropped the term achievements, basically, or actually went and kind of saw a downturn of being used back in 2008 when the first bank crisis when it happened.
Yeah, financial crisis.
So people quit talking about, he was, he did this, he was the winner of this, he had this many awards, and so on and so forth. And they were talking more about things that people said that he did this. He was very, he contributed to society by doing that sort of thing. So it's kind of, I think of it as it's a better thing where we're not talking about whoever wins with the most toys wins, whoever has the most toys. It's kind of moved away from that as well. I don't know if it's because maybe we're in touch maybe more with our feelings, or we just want people to remember how you felt around that person. I don't know.
That's a really good question. And the one thing that comes to my mind is social media. We share our entire lives on social media. So maybe it's the things that we don't know about somebody that we find more interesting than everything that they've shared across every single platform.
I would agree with you on that. I'll tell you a good example of that. And James reminded me about that the other day. The owner of Little Caesars, when he had passed away, it was revealed that he had been paying for Rosa Parks, living expenses for pretty much since she moved up there, and never met the lady. Well, just knew she was very important, and he paid her rent and basically gave him a stipend as well, but anonymously. He didn't know, hey, this is Little Caesar money. She had no idea, and then it was found out afterwards. That's the kind of stuff I would love for people to find out when you do stuff for a reason. And you mentioned social media. Nowadays, we do I'm not seeing as many, but you see people like, here, I'm going to go and give $1,000 to this homeless person and videotape me as I do this.
Well, I think part of that is because remember that couple that claimed to give a homeless person the money and then come to find out it was a whole ruse?
Yes.
Remember? So
I
think people have soured on that a little bit. And I also think, too, when you're doing it for social media, it's very self-serving. Like, I mean, I don't want to know that. Like, why can't you just do it discreetly?
And the argument would be, well, it doesn't matter. Somebody benefit from it. Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah. But really, what's the intent? I can't give you respect if you are going to do it for our own self.
Because one could argue there is no such thing as altruism, because we all do something to make ourselves feel a little bit better. There isn't a single person, at least I don't think, in my opinion, that does something and has absolutely zero selfless attachments to it. Regardless of whether you do something, you feel better doing it. You might not admit that that's part of it, but it is. I mean, but the question is when you cross the line and promote that you're doing it, that you're showing off and showing other people. You don't need to do that.
Would you leave notes for your obituary, or you just let whoever figure it out?
Oh, I might write my own.
Yeah. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would hope, I'm gonna put it out there, is that he just says he was a good dad.
Yes.
I think at the end of the day, that's all that really matters.
Those simple things,
all right. We got some flash travel coming up, plus must watch.
Oh, yes, must watch His and Hers. You don't want to miss the preview.
Air, land, and sea. I'm Mitch English, and this is Flash Travel. Let's be honest, holiday travel can turn even the jolliest among us into total Grinches, but not today. Travel expert Laura Begley-Bloom joins us with the ultimate stress-free holiday guide to keep your travel smooth and your spirits high.
Thanks for having me. SoulGuard is a luggage and travel gear brand known for smart, well-designed bags that make packing and travel easier. This year, the company is launching a limited-time, limited-supply holiday lost luggage program to help travelers during the busiest travel weeks of the year. Here's the thing, lost bags are still a real issue. Globally, 6.3 bags are mishandled for every 1,000 passengers. Between November 26 and January 2nd, if a traveler's luggage is permanently lost due to airline error, SoulGuard will step in. SoulGuard customers will receive a replacement bag. And in a rare move, even travelers who don't already own SoulGuard luggage can submit a claim to receive a select complimentary SoulGuard bag. It's a simple idea that offers travelers a sense of relief when they need it most. For more info, go to soulguard.co. Now, if you're traveling abroad, I recommend checking out MedJet, which is the top-rated air medical transport and security response program for travelers. You join, and if you are hospitalized anywhere more than 150 miles from home, MedJet will move you to your hospital at home. Most health and travel insurance won't do that. They only get you to the nearest adequate facility. Me personally, I would not want to be stuck in a foreign hospital. You can also add 24/7 security response benefits, which is important these days. MedJet memberships are really affordable, starting at $99, and their annual memberships make great gifts for the travelers on your list. They're easy to purchase online at medjet.com. Flying is stressful, especially during the holidays, with longer lines, higher baggage fees, and more chances for things to go wrong. Ship and Play is a white glove door-to-door shipping service created by the industry leaders behind ShipSticks and ShipSkis. Instead of checking bags at the airport, they'll ship your luggage, sports equipment, or other bulky items. That means no hauling bags to the airport, no extra check-in lines, and no waiting at baggage claim. Your items are tracked, insured, and supported by a 24/7 luggage concierge, and you can ship everything home at the end of the trip, too. Ship and Play ships hundreds of thousands of bags annually across more than 180 countries, and it has fundamentally changed the way people experience travel. Trust me, I've used this service and I know it is a true game changer. For more info, head to shipplay.com. And if you want info on all of these things that I've mentioned, you can go to soulguard.co, medjet.com, and shipplay.com. Thanks so much for having me.
Some great information there. You know, the TSA is now going to start charging passengers $45 if they show up at the airport without an acceptable form of ID, like a passport or a real ID. It's true.
Oh, you need a star on it. This is the same license I've had for years.
It has to be a real ID or a passport.
What if I'm a TV host? Does that count?
Right, not. You didn't upgrade? We literally did a story about this.
I procrastinate for the people. Hold on, I think I have something better in here.
All right, a little AI help there. But the policy is actually going to be enforced starting February 1st, 2026. Travelers who do not have an acceptable form of identification will be able to go online at the airport and log onto the TSA website. And that's where they can complete their verified identification steps and also pay the $45 fee. There's no way you're not going to be able to get around it at all. Hey, have a great travel idea or trick? Hey, we want to hear about it. It's real simple to get a hold of us. We love to travel the world with you, so comment on our Facebook page. Just look for Flash Travel TV on Facebook and leave your comment. An even faster way to do it is just go to flashtraveltv.com. It's going to take you directly there. Thanks for coming along for the ride today, and wherever you're headed next, make sure that your flights are smooth, your bags will be light, and your stories, well, they'll be worth telling. I'm Mitch English reminding you to get out there, explore more, and always keep your sense of adventure packed and ready to go. We got the air, we got the land, and we want you to see. It's Flash Travel. See you next time, everybody. Welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English here along with Andrea Jackson. Holiday spirit is on, and at this point, we're basically just speed shopping. Tech Life columnist Jennifer Jolly joins us with her final picks of the year. What you got for us, Double J?
Thanks so much for having me. Let's dive right in with Samsung's Galaxy Watch 8. This is their smartest, most comfortable health tracker yet. Thinner, lighter, and designed with a new cushioned shape that hugs your wrist for more accurate readings. Beyond steps and heart rate, it tackles deeper insights like sleep coaching, bedtime guidance. It can even detect sleep apnea now. And then in the morning, Galaxy AI assigns your personalized energy score so you know exactly how many cups of coffee you'll need to tackle the day. It's also the first smartwatch to measure antioxidant levels through the skin, giving real clues about how diet impacts your overall health. I love that. You know what else I love? A great smartphone. And Samsung's Galaxy S25 Ultra is built for people who want their phone to pull real weight, whether it's at work, on trips, or the everyday bustle in between. The Galaxy AI tools here, it handles all the stuff you normally have to juggle yourself. Things like live translation for instant conversations in almost any language, audio eraser to clean up noisy clips, and drawing assist to turn rough sketches into something polished. The upgraded 50-megapixel ultra-wide camera delivers bright, crisp shots even in low light, and the built-in S Pen makes it feel like a pocket-sized studio. DoorDash just made last-minute holiday shopping so much easier. I just got all these cozy winter staples delivered from Old Navy. You just tap a few keys and the jingle jammies, the cute sweaters, the jean jackets, all the cool stuff arrives same day. That means that you can check off all those other things off your miles-long to-do list. In the meantime, they now work with more than 1,000 Old Navy stores nationwide. So you can grab all the gifts, the outfits, the replacements for whatever your kids are outgrowing. And then you add in all those DoorDash staples, the groceries, the party essentials, your favorite takeout. It genuinely saves so much time during the busiest season of the year. Every year, surveys say the same thing. People want money more than anything else for the holidays. Cold, hard, cash. Well, Venmo now makes that so much less cold and hard, less last minute. I forgot to give you something special and just kind of gave up. Check this out. It's so much more personal now. You start a payment, tap the little gift icon, pick an animated design, add a message that sounds like you, not like a robot, hit send, and the cash just drops straight into their Venmo balance, ready to spend instantly online or in stores. It's fast, secure, surprisingly heartfelt, and let's be honest, exactly what people want the most. Here's another app coming to the rescue. 71% of travelers say getting to the airport is now more stressful than the flight itself. So Lyft saving the day here. They have partnered with United Airlines, so you earn 4 mileage plus miles for every dollar you spend on pre-scheduled airport rides, basically turning a trip into travel rewards. You can also book airport pickups up to 90 days ahead, and Lyft tracks flight changes automatically so you never get stranded. You know what? I'll never leave you stranded either. Go straight to my website, techish.com, for more.
Joining us with the last-minute gift ideas and smart saving tips is consumer and money-saving expert Andrea Warrock. Andrea, great to have you.
Hi, it's Andrea Warrock, consumer savings expert. Target has so many thoughtful and affordable gifts from national and own brands that you can pick up quickly and affordably. Some of my favorite finds under $25 include the EOS Peppermint Cashmere Body Mist, the Lip Charm Keychain paired with Bean Frenchie Balm, and the Sugarfina Letters to Santa Candy Mailbox. If you want bigger gift moments, the Threshold Bubble Fur Throw is incredibly soft. The Gigglescape Yeti Plush is a fun choice for kids, and the Stanley Peppermint Polka Dot Quencher is one of the most popular gifts this year. Target also makes last-minute shopping easy. Stores are open from 7 a.m. to midnight through December 23rd and until 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve. You can order for drive-up or pick-up until 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve or get year-round same-day delivery with no markups through Target Circle 360. And you can even shop Target inside ChatGPT. Find everything in Target stores on Target.com or in the Target app.
All right, now we got some great hosting tips and ways to recharge after this holiday rush.
From festive recipe ideas to hitting the reset button after the holiday rush, lifestyle expert George Duran has all the tips.
One treat that deserves a spot in every stocking this season is Ghirardelli Peppermint Bark. You can taste the high-quality ingredients in every bite. It's also a delicious addition to holiday desserts like this trifle. I love adding small touches to homemade recipes, making classic bites feel more elevated. One of my favorite tricks is adding a dollop of President whipped creme to festive pies or hot cocoa. It's available in extra creamy and Madagascar vanilla. Whether you're pairing with cookies or baking holiday treats, Parmalat helps end milk emergencies all season long. Plus, it's shelf-stable, so you don't need to refrigerate it until it's opened.
Reclaim your peace after the holiday rush and plan a getaway. You can take the timesharing reset quiz to discover your vacation reset vibe and get matched with rentable timeshare resorts across 1,500 locations.
For more information, visit each of the brand's websites.
Up next, Life Minute's editor-in-chief and our favorite lifestyle editor, Joanne Butler, joins us with the scoop on last-minute stocking stuffers for the beauty lover. Hi, Joanne.
Hey everyone, I have to share the perfect little stocking stuffer for the beauty lovers in your life. These are Carasilk's new thoughtfully curated holiday sets. The best of the brand's hair care products here, housed in this limited edition design created by jewelry maker Maggie Simpkins. The products will just transform your daily routine and your hair into strong, beautiful, really healthy, luxurious looking locks. 4 different sets to choose from that range from $38 to $67 at a Carasolk salon. Go to their salon finder at carasolk.com to find one near you. Happy holidays.
Fragrance is always a popular holiday gift, and this year there are some wonderful options.
You ain't kidding. Linda G. Levy, president of the Fragrance Foundation, joins us now. Linda, great to have you with us.
Hi, I'm Linda G. Levy, president of the Fragrance Foundation. We are in full swing of the gift-giving season, and fragrance is definitely the fragrance to give. In the olden days, people had one signature fragrance, but now it's a collection. It's the invisible accessory. So I highly recommend you go online or in-store because there are so many hundreds of new fragrances for that person you want to send gifts to. We at the Fragrance Foundation know there's so much that's new that we have an online social media account called Fragrance Foundation. So if you follow us on Insta at Fragrance Foundation, you'll see what's new every single day. And there you can discover women's, men's, or universal fragrances. If not, please go online to www.fragrance.org. Happy holidays.
And these things smell great. Listen, guys, have the woman pick out the perfume for you, right?
Great advice, Mitch.
Because they know what they like. Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm loving this stuff.
Marc Jacobs, the bottle is gorgeous, and that Coach one lights out.
I like
it
too. Really
very good.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English along with Andrea Jackson.
When a body is discovered, everyone becomes a suspect, including a journalist and the lead investigator covering the case. This is today's must-watch series, His and Hers.
I used to think that when bad things happen, that it was just random chaos. That bad things happen because you bring them on yourself.
Headstone on the grave.
They found a body. Let me take it as a field reporter.
It could be nothing.
I think we both know it's not nothing.
And I don't want the world to know.
Woman's died. But right now, we can't give you any more than that. That's all we got. Thank you.
Detective Harper, is it true you knew her?
Jeez, what was with that reporter?
It's my wife.
So, you got any suspects?
Stop.
Persons of interest?
Hey, Anna, how you doing? You doing good?
Yeah, good, Jack.
Good, good. It's really great to see you.
The killer usually knows their victim.
You stabbed 40 times? That's premeditated. It's personal.
One of us might know who the killer is. The killer could be in this very room.
I didn't hurt her, Anna. Do you know who did it?
I didn't do it, if that's what you're asking. There are two sides to every story. Ours and theirs. Yours.
You really think that I could do something like that? You really think it?
Mine. His. And hers. Which means someone is always lying.
Don't put no headstone on the grave.
All right, we love him. John Bernthal. Very cool. Thank you so much for joining us.
The quick trivia on him.
Basically, he had no idea he was going to get into acting. He went to Skidmore College, and he wanted easy credit, and he did a monologue. They're like, "You're incredible," and he went to the Moscow Art Theater School. Wow, I'm good at this. How about that?
Look at what he's
I
done.
like him.
He's great. Terrific actor.
That does it for the show, right?
Yes. Be good, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.